This episode is brought to you by the Old Dominion Athletic Foundation. Because of you, we create winners in the classroom, in athletic competition, and in life. Become a member today.
Yeah.
Hello, Monarch fans, and welcome to the Hudson Homers podcast. CB is here with us as always. Coach Finwood joining us as well as he usually does. And again, Finny, we were just talking about before you hopped on here. Just super grateful to have you join us and be on here. Give us some legitimacy instead of just two nerds talking about baseball all the time.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. Y'all make it fun. Try any information we can get people out there about the program, and anything as it pertains to ODU baseball. This is a great way to do it. It's a grassroots way to do it, which I love. Yeah. And it's not. I think it's, for me, it has been a fun way to kind of replace the Extra Finnings podcast, because I really enjoy getting the opportunity to do this with you guys. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of recognition and all that fun stuff, we got to start off with the biggest news of the week. Coach Finny, congratulations on setting the all-time wins record for ODU baseball.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I wish we'd have played a little better on the next day, but we played pretty well. We played pretty well the day that we got it. I was proud of that effort. I told Harry Minium, I was writing a story on it, and I said it's just humbling, because you look out there on the wall and you see Bud, and you see Pat, you see Nudie, and you see Guz, and just a guy. I didn't know Coach Matheny other than by reputation. I was coming to camp here as a high schooler in '83, which was when Mark was here, Newman, as the head coach, and I learned a lot of baseball from Mark Newman, both as a high school player, as a college player working camps here, and then as a young college assistant working camps here. Same thing from Pat McMahon after he took over for Nudie, and obviously same thing from Gus. So, to be able to have more wins than all those guys is gratifying, humbling, and it means we've had a lot of good players and a lot of good assistant coaches that have put a lot of time into this, and it makes it doubly frustrating when you're not playing that great. I can tell you that. It's like sometimes you're not that far away, but you're miles away at the same time. And when you're pitching well, and just not scoring enough runs or maybe playing enough defense, you can usually feel like you can get that figured out. When you're not pitching well, it just grinds on you, man. It causes sleepless nights, because if you don't pitch, you're just not going to have a chance. And the issue for us right now is just, we played 6 conference games and given up 57 runs, almost 10 a game, and our average start has been under 2 innings. So we're actually probably pretty fortunate to be 2-4.
I'll say it's hard to win 2 that way.
Having said that,
We lost Finny temporarily, but
he got to talking about that pitching, so he said, "Forget it. I'm not doing."
he made it. He did not make it out of the second either. So all right.
But to pick up a little bit of things right here.
Difficulties.
Yeah. We got him back. We're back.
I hit the wrong button. But like we were saying, we've swung the bats enough and mix and matched enough on the 2 Fridays to come back from win those games, and But you just can't be down by 5 or 6 runs right off the bat every game. That's hard on.
I was going to ask, do you think it makes it a lot harder as a hitter when you're
Oh,
down that much
absolutely.
every time?
Yeah, and the thing is, on Saturday, the last 2 series, Troy and App State have thrown their best guys on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We've actually done a good job against their Friday guy, both times. But when you get down by 5 or 6 on Saturday and they got their best guy on the mound, I mean, that makes it doubly tough, right? I actually thought we did a decent job against their guy this Saturday. We got his pitch count up, and if we could have been in that game, it might have been a little bit.
I mean, got him out in the 5th inning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been through every iteration of this. I promise you, I've never had a weekend where not that they were guys you thought were going to go 5 or 6 innings, but started, 3 true freshmen, 3 freshmen on a conference weekend. And it was just the way we wanted to work it out. Having said that, I thought that J.J. Gaddy came in and threw the ball well for us Saturday. Yeah. It was what we needed to see him do, get out there when we were behind and just go work. He gave us 4 good innings. I thought that was the best he's thrown this year against, quality opponents. Still got to get Kuski back on track. He's battled a little bit of a hip flexor thing, and I think that's affected him some. On the positive note of the pitching, I thought Friday, Pat Johnson, who I know is coming on the show later, a second Friday in a row, we've thrown him in there early down. And he's given up a couple runs, but he's kind of settled things down for us and allowed us to get back and then take the lead in those games. And we were able to expand that one, on Friday, so we didn't have to use Kellen. And, man, I thought Kellen was just, so tough yesterday. He just gave us everything he had. I mean, probably doubled the amount of pitches he's ever thrown here in an outing. Yeah. And we knew he was on fumes going into the 9th. We were trying to get one more out of him, and it just didn't work out. But that's kind of was the gist of that game. They kept one more in us to death after we made it 7-6. We just have to get some shutdowns after those innings. You get 6 runs, you're back in it, you got the momentum, and the leadoff guy's a double. And they would have scored that inning, except they made a base run in there at third. Got in tag on a fly ball. We got kind of looked out there.
Kellen pitched his guts out, I thought.
I think Kellen was fantastic. He's just got, humongous character and big balls, and he really cares.
I was thinking during the game how amazing it is. A couple few years ago, he was like the Rugi, the righty one-out guy. Yep. And now he's the guy you're like, hey, we're going to go get him to every single pitch we can get him.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we'd love to have a guy like him somewhere else on the staff that we could do that. And, I mean, if we could have, they scored 6 runs with 2 outs.
Yeah.
In the 3rd inning yesterday. We're like 1 pitch away from getting out of that so many times. But you got to make pitches. You got to – and you can say what you want. Well, they're all singles. It doesn't matter.
Well, that was a great example of you got to put the ball in play. If you put the ball in play, good stuff happens. I mean, that was like I was as annoyed as anybody because they were just getting a lot of lucky nonsense all weekend. But, when you put the ball in play, that's going to happen.
Yeah, and look, man, this is how it's going when it ain't going great too. Like they made a number of diving plays, like center fielder robbed a couple extra base hits, third baseman made a diving play, second baseman. So you got to give them credit. They made the plays. Yeah. But, when it's going good for you, those balls seem to drop in. And their coach was saying, man, that happened to them the week before at home against Coastal. Like nothing dropped and everything Coastal had dropped. So it's baseball. It happens. You got to fight your way through it. I think this weekend we're going to start this week, and we can recap any of the games as we go if you want from last week. But we got William and Mary at home tomorrow. We moved that game up to 3:00. Because of colder temps. So we're going to start Sulpizio again. He's going to be on the pitch count, though, because he's going to come back on Sunday and start.
And he was phenomenal on Wednesday against Norfolk State. I mean, that's the guy you've been wanting to see. I didn't realize he only threw 44 pitches in that game in 4 innings.
Yeah, he threw strikes, and the breaking ball was best I've seen it. So hopefully he can build off that and do it again tomorrow. It'll probably be another 45 pitch type limit thing. And we're gonna start Kusky on Friday and Gaddy on Saturday, and those guys just got to do it. I mean, they're our best option to get into a game, and have some other bullets to fire as the game moves along. So, it's good to see F get back out there. Morales, he hit the ball hard. Didn't have a ton. He had 2 hits on Saturday off the bench, and then his first couple at bats, he hammered a couple balls and a couple diving catches, and that can get frustrating. But it's good to see him make good contact for sure on those games. So we need to get that bat back in the lineup. It gives us another guy that can be a threat offensively. So we got to figure something out, at third base too, because we're just not getting any production there, and we're making too many routine errors. So, we'll see.
Is there any thought of? I know Evan Holman has, he worked out some at third. Is there any thought of? I mean, obviously,
yeah. I think the next guy's
experience.
Cole.
Yeah.
I think the next guy's Cole McKenna. The
Yeah,
thing with
sure.
Evan is Evan can catch the balls right at him. He doesn't have much range. Third base is hard in college baseball.
It is hard.
You got the screamers, you got the choppers, you got, it's a challenging position. I think it's a very people take it for granted how hard it is. You get the threat of the bunts, those kind of things, and so we I think we're going to give Cole a shot over there. I mean, he's a different type of player. Like, he's another runner. He can steal bases and bunt, and you just got to get the ball and play. He's a freshman, so but he's played sparingly, but he's shown some good things, and I think we'll give him a chance probably these weekday games and see how he does. TJ's continuing to have good at bats. I thought Scotty swung the bat a little better this weekend. Dallas had a big home run for us yesterday, and the guy dove and robbed him of a hit in the first inning, which probably would have gotten us going right there.
Well, TJ injured one of the monarchists, Tyler. Tyler injured one of the monarchists with his laser beam home run. Aaron's right there, I think.
That, huh?
Yeah.
Bounce?
Oh no, it was straight line drive. I always worry when I'm standing near the hitting facility that I'm going to catch a foul ball on the side of the head or something like that. So I sat out the Sunday game. I was in the stands the whole time. Aaron Zielinski is sitting to my left, and I mean he crushed it, and I could see it just coming right at us. I could hear it as I was seeing it come towards me, and it was mainly at Aaron. I made the business decision to just sidestep a little bit. Aaron stuck his arm out. It hit his forearm. Hit the seat behind, popped up, and right into somebody's hands who immediately just put it in a bag. So we were cheering and exciting, but
that ball.
Yeah, but Aaron's got this big stitch mark on his forearm from Zadalis there.
Steph told me that she saw somebody try to catch it or attempt to catch it, and that ball was like 112 off the bat, I think.
Yeah,
like that. So.
I understand exit velocities, and that ball doesn't really slow down a whole lot before it gets into those stands.
Not until it hits something.
Yeah, and it slowed down a little more then.
and Mac hit his over the stands, right?
Yeah, that was right over the top of my head. It probably landed just short of where the catering truck is back there.
Wow.
I mean, it was a
porta potty, maybe.
Yeah. I guarantee a one hop to porta potty, but that thing was still climbing over the seats.
Yeah, that's an interesting view that you don't get a ton at the mid-major college level. The ball's going over the stands. That's kind of cool from the field side. It's kind of cool to see. You can usually tell when guys get one for sure. But
I think right before Mac, wasn't that when the outfielder had robbed? Was it Tyler hitting right before him? And then when Mac hit that one, I was like, "You're not catching that one, buddy."
Yeah, that's right. Tyler actually got 2 hits robbed yesterday. Yeah. The third baseman dove and got a ground ball, and then the center fielder got him on that. So man, he just missed out on a good day.
Yeah, I'll give their center fielder credit. Charlie Evans, he had just one inning. He had 2 amazing catches, one in the right center gap that I thought he had no chance to get to, and the other navigating the wall in the wind. That may be the first visiting player that's gotten like a little bit of a golf clap from the home fans, but I mean, it was deserved after those two. We'll give him that credit.
He's a good player, man. You know, he also hits leadoff for him, and he had a good weekend swinging the bat for him. So he's a good player for sure. Older guy, he's been there a while, and you know they. You know, you got to give them their credit. They battled at the plate and got enough balls in play to, you know, make stuff happen. Gosh, it seemed like every time we looked up yesterday, it was runners on first and third. You know, we're calling the first and third defense, and you know, we need our guys need to, like, pitching wise, like, visualize better things happening for them. I feel like we're walking on ice a little bit out there at times instead of just stomping on pavement. Like, you know, they got to get out there and make it happen instead of hope. You know, that old saying, wish and hope done left the building, right? Like, it don't work. You know, you got to make it happen. And, you know, sometimes it's being more aggressive early in counts and forcing contact. I thought that's what J.J. Gaddy did a better job of. He threw more fastballs. He attacked with his fastball and got ahead of the hitters and put them on their heels a little bit. And I thought that was a good step in the right direction for him. So, you know, these weeks when you got double midweeks, man, they're interesting. I think you got to be careful about spacing your pitching out too much because you can not have enough guys to win either game.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like we're gonna try to. And Tuesday, you can throw more relievers on Tuesday because they got another day off if you wanted to use them Friday. So we're going to throw more of our guys tomorrow, and then, you know, just whoever's left on Wednesday at Richmond will have to get out there and do their job. So, you know, we got a colder day tomorrow with a northeast wind. It's not going to be a great day to hit. So hopefully we can fill up the strike zone. You know, got to stay away from the walks on those days. You need to be able to play offense and, you know, get your bunts down, put balls in play, hit and run, things like that.
I was going to ask you too, because it's kind of this weird dynamic, right? Like JJ needs to throw more pitches into the zone, throw to more soft contact. Don't be too fine with the off speed. I feel like a lot of the other guys in the bullpen don't have as much of a swing and miss pitch as we've seen in years past. So I don't have access to that data analytics, but I know you all do. Are you seeing that whiff rate go down compared to last year?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of that is we got, you know, some young guys throwing that haven't really developed necessarily. They're breaking stuff to the extent it needs to be at this level. And so it either is getting them in bad counts because it's such a wasted pitch, guys don't even offer at it, or they're hanging it and throwing it down the middle and it's getting clobbered. And, you know, I think when that's the case, you know, the best two pitches in baseball are a fastball down and away and a fastball in. If you can move both of those around, then you can put a hitter a little bit guessing what's coming. And I think for some of those guys, we need to, you know, throw more fastballs on both sides of the plate. Some of our guys are, you know, only on one side of the plate, and I think the scout reports get out and some of those things. And so it's definitely a challenge right now, you know, without a doubt. And like I said, somebody's got to make it happen. You know, this is who we have. Ain't nobody coming up from AAA.
No mid-season trades, not calling anybody up.
And so these are the guys. They got to get better. They got to keep working, and we need some guys to, like, you know, visualize good things happening to them because they can, you know, and most all of them have had, you know, spurts of success. They just have to find a way to do it more consistently. So, you know, the 2 midweeks, and then we leave. Fortunately, they're 2 early games, and then we leave Thursday for Mobile, play South Al down there. Who I haven't been to Mobile in a long time, man, since my early days at Western. You know, and they got a beautiful ballpark now, I know, and it'll be a fun place to play. The weather's going to be good, and they're off to a pretty good start. So it's you know, every series is tough. You look at the Sun Belt, you know, rankings right now. I mean, Coastal 6-0, big surprise, and I saw they 10-run rule JMU every game this weekend. So they're obviously getting it going, and I think Marshall's 5-1. They got beat one yesterday, maybe at Georgia State, and everybody else is 4-2, 3-3, 2-4, right in that early season jumble where you're at.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until after a game I had driven back home to Richmond yesterday. I pulled up the Sun Belt standings. If we win one more game this weekend, we're in 4th. But because we lost, we're tied for 10th. So like the margin there is small. I mean, Coastal doing what they're doing at 6-0 with down 2 of their top arms is insane.
Three.
Yeah, they're down basically their main three guys.
Yeah. They've got a plethora of riches on the mound. That's for sure. They're starting to swing the bats a little bit, especially at home. So they're tough to deal with right now, obviously. Let them keep beating everybody up. That's the way I look at it. So until we play them.
I wanted to talk to you about. I don't think it's an excuse, but I do think it's a factor. I thought this weekend is some of the worst umpiring we've maybe ever seen for a weekend. It was all 3 guys were awful. You've got both sides arguing, getting warnings in pretty much every game. The strike zone, I mean, it's one of those you can't even say like, oh, the strike zone's wide. The strike zone is just a moving target, and it was pitch to pitch. Yeah. And I always think, too, when you see, I was bringing up that, the pitch comes and there's like a clear pause. I'm like, that's because the guy said they remember, well, I screwed him on the last pitch, so now I have to make up this pitch, or I screwed him 2 pitches ago and now can't make up it's like they're not calling balls and strikes. So I don't know how much you want to say about it. I'm very happy to say it was brutal.
Awful.
Yeah. Well, it's whenever you see that pause you were talking about, I mean, after like the first strike call, and you see it and you go, oh God, because it's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
It's like then it's a guessing game, and it's just like, it's not, the good ones.
There's no conviction. There's no sureness in what they're doing. They don't know the strike zone.
Yeah, I looked at the Friday zone. It wasn't good. The game we won, I didn't see the Saturday or Sunday.
I mean, the Friday one seemed terrible until Saturday and Sunday happened. Now looking back, like, oh, the guy Friday wasn't that bad.
Yeah, put him back there.
Yeah.
I think in addition to that, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about that. I think the big thing.
Yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble, but we'll save.
Run the games the right way. Like,
oh man, the pitch clock was a mess.
When you got everybody just screaming at you, yelling at you, because then that's not good, man. It's like the pitch clock, that was more ridiculous than the strike zone this weekend. I've never seen pitch clocks go off that fast. Yeah. I mean, no one had enough time to do anything. And I finally asked the guy yesterday, what is the rush? Why are we rushing? And it's just like, what is going on here, man? Like, this is not what this is about. A guy hit a foul ball, and our guy didn't even have the ball back yet. And the hitter's like walking back to the batter's box, and the pitch clock's already going on. And that's not the way it's supposed to be.
And for the Sun Belt games, I don't know if this is true for the whole season, but the umpire that's got third base has what looks like a remote control for a TV from like 1992 with some tape on it, resetting that thing. So it's not anyone in the press box. It's not anyone on the ODU side. It is run by the umpires.
No, and it needs to be somebody in the press box, in my opinion. But right now, with our setup the way it is, we just can't do it that way. So we use that controller for scrimmages,
right.
So we can have a pitch clock, and it works, but it's sometimes it glitches. And
is it from 1992? Is he?
Oh yeah, it might be.
Got an old Coleco system controller.
It's an old Nintendo controller.
Atari.
That's awesome.
Atari, yeah.
Play some Frogger with it after the game.
I'm qualified for that job then.
It still shouldn't make you turn it on before you're supposed to.
Right.
No.
I mean, we've had a couple situations. I mean, it's just like the things that happen, every day out there now. Like, y'all don't know half of them, but they're comical. Like, replay's down. Like, okay, well, that's just that's just a Saturday right now. Like,
right.
and it is we're doing the best we can. It's not a great production, unfortunately, but it's where we're at. So we try to work with it.
For what we have, they're doing
every time
really
I'm
well.
out there, I'm just like, it's going to be beautiful next year, because you look at it and you're like, man, this thing is going to be a palace.
Yeah, I'd like to see them start making a little more. I mean, if that roof is taking forever, it looks like a nice roof, man. But golly, let's get to the. It's a roof. Like, let's get to the next.
Yeah.
I guess you want your roof to be well built, certainly, so it doesn't fall on you.
It's fair. It's fair.
I can't wait to. I snuck in there. Not snuck. I walked in there yesterday morning. There's nobody in there yet, and walked around and through, and it's coming along. I'm looking forward to seeing drywall get put up and stuff like that. Everything's under roof, and I think they were pumping all the, water out from the rain, all that rain we had and everything, getting it all, weatherproofed. So it's coming along. It's, we had a recruit in, and we got another one in tomorrow. We were able to take them through and show them where things are.
That's
At
fun.
least they can see that, but it's not nearly done. When they're saying it's going to be done July 1, I mean, they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
July 1's getting a lot closer.
And I think when you look at the seating bowl proper now, and the roof, and you see where the press box and the suites up top are going to be, you can, when that's full of Navy seats and everything done, it's going to be a pretty impressive structure from both sides of it. From the roadside, the outside, and the inside.
Yeah, I drove by on Saturday because I went to La Crosse, and because I don't go by that side now that often, and it's like, man, it really is. It's not done, but it looks impressive from the 43rd Street side when you drive by.
Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, that's going to be something that'll be neat for everybody to walk by every day.
Yeah, I think we're all ready for it to be there. But I will say, for what we have and what's been set up, it's still awesome. Like, had the live music again on Saturday out there. We had great crowds. Like,
they were good. I was eating a couple of bratwursts. They were really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No,
I heard it got warm up in the stands. That sun beating down. That's better than cold though. Yeah, you got a nice.
Yeah, that's what my mom and dad said. Oh, it was hot out there. I was like, well, yeah.
The breeze was nice though, because the breeze was kind of blowing a little bit, so it was like natural AC. You get it on the bottom of your chin too, because if it reflects off the seat in front of you, it's like your free tanning service at ODU baseball games.
We'll have people out there sunbathing here in May.
Whatever brings you to the ballpark.
Both sides, just turn over. We'll set a timer up for you to turn over.
Yeah.
So.
We'll use the pitch clock for that. That'll work.
10 pitch clocks and turn.
So I mean, we're 11-11. We're 22 games into this thing. We got another week, and we'll be halfway at the midway point. And so it's hopefully we can turn the corner on this pitching thing. And I know Mike and the guys are certainly working hard on it. And it also becomes something you have to be careful that doesn't just become contagious to all of them, because success is like that. Success and failure are like that a lot. I think, it's like, a couple guys start hitting and everybody's hitting. A couple guys start pitching and everybody. A couple guys stop hitting and no one hits. And it's like you have to pass it down, and hopefully we can, it's so many new guys throwing for the most part. So they've just got to keep learning and keep trying to get better.
Friday's a perfect time for Kuski to just go out there and give you 6 innings and set the tone for the rest of the season. I think you're looking for that one guy to do that, set the tone, and then it follows. I mean, we saw it last year with, the many guys who are now in the minor league system now, that when you needed that start, give you 5 strong innings, Dylan Brown could deliver that for you, or Blake could deliver that for you. I think if you get one, it can be contagious the other way too, in a positive way.
Well, no doubt. And I mean, obviously, when you're not going to the bullpen in the first or second or third inning on Friday, the rest of the weekend becomes a little easier to manage from a pitching standpoint as well. So, when you have to go there that early, man, by the time you get to Sunday, you're running on fumes. back there. I mean, we're throwing a couple guys that are, been walk-ons here yesterday in that game. And so that's kind of where we need to be better at from the start. And, there's sometimes in the old school days, they'd have some days where, pro ball, the manager say, hey, look,
yeah,
don't look in here for about 7 innings because ain't nobody out there. I'm not even coming out to visit.
yeah.
Yeah, just got to eat them occasionally.
Well, there was one point this week. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Gaddy, but there was somebody who I thought you guys did that. It was kind of like, hey, you're going to figure this out. Yeah. I feel like that's what he did. They did with Gaddy.
Well, we did with him, yeah, and he needed to do that, and he did. But it's like sometimes you gotta go. You decide because we're not saving you anymore. Like you can give up 2 or 15, but you got to go figure it out. And I think sometimes we're guilty as coaches and I haven't really been wired that way. I always want to be aware of their arm health. Certainly, you don't want to leave somebody out there for 50 pitches and then get them hurt. But I think guys lose the ability to work out of jams because we're always going and saving them. Yeah, and that is a big time ability and a big time bullet to have in your gun. Can I work out of a jam? I heard Roger Clemens say this once. He said, but to do that, you got to know what you can go to do it. Mm-hmm. He goes, I knew I could go early in my career. I knew I could go to my breaking ball to get out of the jam if I had to. I always had the fastball, but maybe that day they were hitting the fastball. Later in my career, it was the split. And Roger Clemens was one of those rare guys that threw no hitters a decade apart. Right. And he was a completely different guy in each of those. Mm-hmm. The first one, it was just fuzz and the big breaking ball. And the second one, it was, more location and the split. And so, like, I asked the question then, what's the bullet you're going to fire to get out of the jam? Mm-hmm. Can you break off 5 bangers in a row, breaking balls and get us in the dugout? You have to know that as a pitcher. And I think some of our guys don't know that because we're always saving them. And I think that they need to figure that part out. And you're saving them partially because you're trying to win the game. I get
right.
That. But I think there's some things training-wise, in the fall and things like fall is the time to train it. If you're scheduled for 3, and we've been talking about all this, we're always trying to make sure guys are healthy. And you have to always have an eye on that in the practices and the scrimmages. But if you're supposed to have 3 innings a day and you can't get out of the first, then we're going to leave you out there to get your brains beat out, and you'll throw 1 inning today.
Yeah.
But I think you got to. There is a learning curve there for sure, especially with young pitchers.
You can see it vary inning to inning too. I mean, Sunday Jackson Okonkwo. I mean, they couldn't touch him in the first 2 innings, and then come back out for 3. And
he started missing with the fastball out over the plate. He was throwing it in. He's got that good sinker. His problem is the second time through the lineup, guys adjust to you, and so you got to adjust to them. And he stopped throwing the sinker in. He was throwing it out over the plate and he got probably a little fatigued. And it all happened so fast with 2 outs. Like, it blew up fast, man. But he showed you what kind of potential he does have.
Yeah.
And I think really maybe, I don't know, more so right now, he's probably a one-time through the lineup type of guy because the breaking pitches are still work. The off-speed stuff's still a work in progress. I think the change-up's ahead of the breaking ball right now for him. But that sinker is a real pitch, man. I mean, guys are missing that thing by, feet. So, maybe he can come in with some smoke coming out of his ears and help us out of the bullpen that way.
Well, he's got nobody on. He's got that super high leg kick, which I swear, so I think some guys do get mesmerized by that.
I know. It's amazing a kid that tall can be that nimble.
No, the first time I went and saw him, I'd seen him play before, but I hadn't seen him pitch until last year. And I was like, oh, Jackson, you're like 6'5". What are we doing here, buddy?
Getting all the leverage. The leverage.
Something else. He's a pretty good hitter.
He is a good hitter. He had a really good. Every time I saw a
golfer, if you remember that, he's got tremendous hand-eye coordination. He's very athletic. and I haven't forgotten that. We try not, we don't want to overload him too much, but he is going to pick up a bat again at some point this year.
Okay. I love that.
All right.
And I think he'll be excited about that. And
I was gonna say, I'm sure he'll love that.
Yeah, about it too, because I think he's got some hitting potential, for sure.
Right. Nothing gets that pitching staff more fired up than seeing one of their guys go out there and get an AB. I'll never, like, the loudest I think I've ever heard the ODU dugout is when Dylan Brown got an at bat against App State a couple years ago.
That's right.
I mean, it was wild.
Yeah, we had to put the DH in the game, and so the pitcher had to hit, and he hit a line drive on the first pitch.
Smoked
smoked that ball.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to see a Dylan Brown walk off there.
Yeah.
That is always fun. I could see that. You know who would be a blast to have that happen to would be Kellen Davis.
Oh, man. Kellen was a good hitter in high school. I saw a game. He had 4 hits in a game I saw.
He would be so fired up.
He pitched 5 and had 4 hits, stole 3 bases. He was all over the place.
They're asking whose helmet they can borrow. They're trying to find some batting gloves. They're trying to find a bat. It's always a lot of fun to do that. I remember this years ago now, but
is it Morgan McGuire?
Morgan McGuire.
Yeah, Big Mo, yeah.
Almost swung and fell down 3 times.
He took his hacks, man. He took his hacks, that's for sure. I think I put that on the back of his baseball card. And then
he said, "Coach, I was not going to get cheated." So, yeah, but well, you guys, I know you got PJ coming on, and I'm proud of him. He's done a good job for us. He's kind of been that guy that steadied the ship. His first inning, he's been a little shaky, and then he's settled down and been good after that. So hopefully we can get that first inning be better. But he gives us an older veteran, kind of steady. He's pitched a lot of college baseball, and you can kind of tell when he's out there. He's not unnerved by any means. So hopefully he'll keep doing that for us.
Well, Finny, we appreciate you as always, all the insight. Be following along Tuesday, Wednesday with William Mary and Richmond, and of course down in Mobile against South Alabama for the 3rd weekend series. But thank you, Finny.
All right, guys. Go Monarchs.
Go Monarchs.
Thanks, Finny.
All right. Before we go to commercial here and then bring on Patrick, I want to talk about a couple other things that were going on around the ODU world over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, Sunday had the memorial service for Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw. About 3,000 people were over there for that. So, obviously a sad moment for ODU with everything that was going on, but, glad to see the full pomp and circumstance for him and a lot of people in the community coming out. Then, unfortunately, we had another loss in the ODU family. Justin Parker, probably saw him on social media, Sporting News 757, huge ODU fan. He's an alum. I think he was 07 or 06. I can't remember what year. But if you've been to an ODU sporting event, you've probably seen him. Skinny guy, ODU tattoos all over his arms. So he's got, I think every logo was tattooed on him. Unfortunately passed away about a week and a half ago. We got that news. I don't know if anyone uses the ODU mobile app where you can go and check in games. He was the leader by far for all of those things. So certainly sad to see him go. I just talked to him at the UConn series just a few weeks ago. So definitely sad to see him go. We're going to figure something out for him. We're trying to get in contact with family and all that stuff and understand what's going on. But ODU meant a lot to him. He showed up, and we're certainly going to miss him at baseball games the rest of this year and everything else going forward.
And the stuff he was doing with the 757 Sporting News, that was great. I honestly kind of met him after that because I was just, I take pictures of a high school game, and I just saw this account that always had high school stuff. So I was like, well, I'll just see if he wants to co-tag and share it. And so he was always picking it up. And so anytime I just had some pictures of the local teams, and I was talking to him one day after a game, he's introduced himself. And it was awesome, really an awesome guy. And it's a shame we've lost both those guys. It's just
tough couple weeks for ODU and everyone around it. So hopefully, coming out of spring break, we can kind of see some brighter things going forward. But we will certainly miss Justin.
That's one nice thing about sports. Sports, you have this thing that you can bring people together, and we can root for a common thing, and you can and again remember those good times you had the people. I mean, I'm sure the same way with the RTC and that you can remember the way these people chose to live their lives and chose to find their joy and to focus on those things and the good stuff, which would, I'm sure both of them would have wanted.
Yeah, a lot of that messaging in the service yesterday for Lieutenant Colonel Shaw. Don't necessarily remember the bad time, remember all the good times and everything that set you up going forward. So,
sure.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We get back, we will have Patrick Johnson.
Have some good times with Pat Johnson.
The Old Dominion Athletic Foundation, or commonly referred to as the ODAF, was established in 1964 as a nonprofit organization. The mission of the ODAF is to raise financial support for ODU athletics to ensure that our coaches and student athletes have the resources necessary to compete for championships. The ODAF is integral to the success of ODU athletics and is the channel through which our fans and alumni can partner with our coaches and student athletes for the advancement of the athletics program. Through the generous efforts of our donors, loyal fan base, and community, the ODU alumni from around the globe, the ODAF raises money for student athletic scholarship support and endowments, capital projects, program-specific support, and athletic department operations. Funds are raised through annual giving, multi-year pledges, events, premium seating, and planned giving. With questions about how to get involved in one or more of these initiatives, reach out to an ODAF representative. Gifts to the ODAF are investments in the lives of our student athletes. ODAF members receive exclusive benefits such as priority points for postseason and away game seating, parking, VIP, and hospitality experiences, and more. Because of you, we create winners in the classroom, in athletic competition, and in life. Contact the ODAF and become a member today.
Welcome back, Monarch fans, to Hudson Homers. Good talking with Finny. I mean, again, straight shooter. Like, he's not going to sugarcoat anything for you. He knows it's not going well right now, but it could always be much worse. And we're one game out of being in the top 4. So it's.
I mean, you played 2 out of 10 weekends in the conference, right? You got. I mean, what is that? Math is hard for me right now.
24 more games.
Yep, there you go. I was not going to get it. I was at like 18. That was no way because I was expecting from 20 instead of 30 for some reason. Yeah, you got 24 more games. You can make a difference. They can go out and win this conference. I mean, and they have the talent to do it. The guys just have to. Like I said, some of them we need some gut checks and we need some consistency. And we only have to win the conference. We can go out and play really well and then win the conference in the tournament. I mean, the team has the ability. So it's a long season. Anybody who's pouting and getting down and it's all over. It's like, all right, we don't need you. Go away.
Yeah, they'll come back in May when the weather's nice.
Yeah, they'll come back in May when they're playing great and the weather's nice. But I mean, whatever. Get out of here.
Yeah, but it's a long season. There's a lot to go. Crazy stuff happens. I mean, like Texas State swept Louisiana. You had weird games going all over.
Southern Miss, top 25. That's weird to start with.
Yeah, Southern Miss is 1 game ahead of us in the standings. Who would have called that?
Right.
They're 3-3. Like it's weird. It's going to be a weird year.
It's a wood chipper.
Yeah, you're going to be tested every week. Well, someone who had a test on Friday and kind of brought us back to get us the first game of this series. I want to bring on senior Patrick Johnson. Patrick, welcome to the show.
How are y'all doing?
Patty J, what's up, man? How are you?
Good.
How you been enjoying ODU? This is your first year with us. How do you like it?
It is. I've really enjoyed it. Being around Coach Marin and Pond and Rhino, they've really helped me kind of figure out this new arm slot that I've been going through and helping me work through some mental things that have kind of slowed me back earlier in college and, working through some of those during the fall and throughout the year really helped.
Well, I didn't realize your arm slots. So were you like a little higher, a little more 3/4, or where were you before?
I dropped about a foot this summer.
Oh, wow.
I got hurt last year and then went to tread and dropped about a foot in my arm slot. And kind of 2 weeks before Polly ended up seeing me at the showcase at tread. So they've helped kind of refine some things in my pathway down the mound and working through some pitches throughout the fall.
You never know watching because like I'm taking pictures and I know what a side armor is supposed to look like, and you look just like all the guys who do it. So that's pretty great. That it looks like it's working out.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I've gotten a lot more movement on pitches, and it's a lot more fun. I mean, you just kind of not throwing as hard, but I mean, just strikes, I guess, with the sinker and make them hit it.
I meant to ask Shu and Cole Lanford about this too. Like, how long did it take you to figure out your release point and your release timing when you changed that arm slot?
Mine didn't take too long because I would always kind of mess around sidearm, like in the outfield, and like everyone, you just
Yep.
kind of throw a few sidearm, and you're like, well, maybe one day. And I
Yeah.
guess my day came. So
Yeah. Well, Friday you come on in relief of Ben Tanton. You get 3 1/3, no earned runs, 4 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Really kind of steadied the ship there when it looked like it was heading into a pretty bad spot. But take us through Friday and coming in and holding things up so we can end up actually getting a win and obviously getting you a win too.
yeah, well, funny story actually. Pond thought they said Jackson and not Johnson. So Okonkwo was warming up originally. And so I went back because I needed to go to the bathroom, and Pond was like, hey, like, you need to get hot. So I just got straight on the mound and started throwing. And, that has been a struggle of mine is the first inning. So kind of trying to figure out how to change my sights earlier instead of it, being a hit or hit a batter or, give up a home run like I did at Troy last week. Just kind of figuring all that out in the bullpen pregame. And that's something that I've talked to Marin about this week, like almost thinking like instead of putting in the little plastic hitter, like getting an actual human to stand in or do something to get me a little bit more ready to go early. And then from the first inning on, it was just kind of win every inning. And I didn't know how long I was going to throw, but just kind of try to give the offense a shot to get back into it.
And you created that opportunity for them, and they did. They got back in it and come back and win, and it ended up being really important to avoid getting swept. Obviously, you didn't know what was going to happen Saturday, Sunday, but what was it like in the dugout coming off the mound after that last inning you had? I mean, it seemed like the guys were kind of mobbing you a little bit as you were coming out.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, definitely the 5 back-to-back 5-run innings is a good thing. And, I was really hoping to put up a 0 to keep the momentum up. And it's always fun to walk in and the guys just going crazy and seeing the offense get back to work.
I really like what Marin does where like when you guys are done, he kind of lets you get settled, have your relax for a second, and then he'll be like, hey, all right, Pat's done. Everybody give him, and the whole all the pictures and everybody comes over. That seems like it's a pretty cool experience. Does that feel like as good when it's happening as it looks like it feels?
Yeah, it's fun. And it's fun to pick up the guys always. Like
yeah.
After a good outing, or I mean, even if you struggle, it's like it's always a good thing to like have the sense of the guys behind you and like rally around you, and then y'all be able to carry that into whoever's next.
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing. You really seem like you enjoy being a teammate. Like I always see, like you're always in the middle of like 2 or 3 guys, and you're always engaged in some way. Like who have you really like gelled with since you've been here?
I live with Runyon, so me and Runyon are pretty close, and then like me, Marcus, Darren. I've gotten close with Ben. We have a bunch of guys over at our house every now and then, and we'll sit and play cards and watch whatever sporting events on. So it's usually a lot of the pitchers come over and we just kind of hang out. And then, I mean, all of us really get along. That was one thing that kind of getting on campus was very welcoming, with everyone just helping me feel welcome. So.
Awesome. And then, obviously you're down Saturday, Sunday because you threw 50 or so pitches there on Friday. It was getting a little testy in the dugouts. Like I think that's like the loudest I think this season I've heard at home. I obviously don't have to get into anything that would get you in any kind of trouble, but could you just kind of feel like the momentum building with those guys when they just start jawing back and forth a little bit?
Yeah, you definitely get a sense of just urgency whenever, like, especially like Darren throws that slider to the backstop, like our entire dugout cheers. Like it's just, and it's a good thing when you're on the mound, like when you feel that out there and feel the energy from the guys. And I mean, I'm sure it's the same way hitting, just like being behind whoever's going and like wanting to go to war with them. Like definitely it's fun, especially when their dugout starts to get into it too.
That was a really funny moment because I was thinking it was the first pitch of the inning. I mean, he just sailed that thing. I mean, Mac had no chance and it went. And I was like, all right, that's kind of weird. But then the whole dugout erupts and is clapping and laughing. That was I think a cool way to pick your guy up there.
Yeah.
I think he ended up going back and I don't know if he struck him out, but I don't.
He did.
Yeah. Well, I think he went and got it, right, for sure.
So that was a cool moment.
Yeah. What made you pick ODU? I mean, when you were, I guess, what made you leave Tennessee Tech and what made you pick ODU?
So I ended up getting hurt last year about
Mhm.
a week ago today. So I'm still in the process right
wow.
now of getting my med red from last year, and
Okay.
hopefully having another year.
That'd be awesome.
But kind of just our pitching coach ended up leaving Tennessee Tech pretty early. I think it was in the winter. And so we just didn't have a pitching coach, and I felt like I had a year left, I was thinking at the time. So I was like, I want to like go out and enjoy like my last year. And I mean, the portal's not fun for anyone. So, going in the portal and, talking to Coach Marin and a few of the other guys, it was just like Coach Marin really seems to care about every single person on our staff. And like, it's a lot deeper than baseball. It's like, he wants to know you on a personal level, like what makes you tick. And it's completely different than anything I've had because this is my third school. So just kind of having that kind of one-on-one connection with a pitching coach is special. And, you can really tell that he cares about each and every person on the staff.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had some ODU connections that you might not even known about at the time because you were at Middle Tennessee. Yeah, okay, where you had
with
Jerry
Wiz.
Myers, and Adam
Wiz.
Wisniewski, Wiz, which is one of my favorite human beings on the planet. I cannot tell. I mean, I've known Wiz since he was playing at ODU, and obviously then coaching all these years. Wiz is, I love the guy to death. I was happy for him to see he got the job there. But yeah, so that tell us about working with Jerry and Wiz.
It was funny because going into MTSU, there were a bunch of things that happened before the year because our head coach ended up having to leave for some off the field things. So Coach Myers ended up taking over and being the head coach. And then it was fun playing under Coach Myers, and then Wiz came in my sophomore year, and a lot of the things that he brought into the program there are kind of what we used here. So the transition from the low, medium, hybrid, high days, like he brought all those in. And I remember there were a bunch of guys who went and moved Wiz into the house. So I remember moving Wiz into the house, and his wife made his cookies and everything.
That's great.
But Wiz did call me this summer and kind of talked to him a little bit about ODU, because I remembered he went here. So
get your background check on ODU there from the good source.
And I remember ODU because, especially joining Conference USA, I remember hearing about from the older guys, like the ODUs, the Southern Miss, like whenever they were in Conference USA. So
yeah, we were hitting tanks those last couple of years, and
that's all I heard. I heard.
I remember they were hitting some in the football field there at Middle Tennessee.
I actually heard a story about that. It, like, hit the camera up on top, and
yeah, I think Andy Garriola probably did that.
That was funny.
Yeah, there were some bombs hit that day. That park, if I remember correctly, it was like a magnet to the football stadium for.
Oh, it flies! It
flies out of there. Well, tell us a little bit about what you throw. I don't think I've ever asked this question on the podcast. It's probably because I'm an amateur and this is, I'm not great at this, but tell us about like your pitches that you throw and kind of what you feel like you've developed, the most since coming over to ODU.
So I'm pretty dominant on sinker. I don't throw it too much, but I think my main pitch is kind of my slider, and that's kind of been my bread and butter throughout college. Just being able to throw that, I feel like that's one of the pitches I'm more confident in than even my fastball. Like behind an account, I love going to the slider. And I think the pitch that kind of has been the unicorn is the changeup. I haven't really thrown it much, but this summer I figured out a kick change. I've never really had a good changeup. I used to call my changeup the home run pitch because I feel like every time I threw it, it went out.
That's crazy.
But kind of found the kick change, and it's weird. Sometimes it'll cut, sometimes it'll go straight down, sometimes it'll run. Coach Marin just calls it the death ball. So
yeah,
I think that's that, and then really dominating. Like, I think the main issue for me right now is just moving my sights over and trying to work in on hitters more with the sinker and have that be more effective.
So everyone has like a weird pitch now, right? Because I know Kellen has whatever that gyro slider weird thing is, and then you have the death ball. So we just got to keep creating and naming new pitches, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And Marcus and Darren also had they have the similar kick change. I remember Marcus, me and him would talk that was my throwing partner before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So we'd throw all the time and just mess with the change ups, and it was always fun just messing with him as he would get mad. He'd be like, yours dropped more than mine today, and then he'd throw it, and it was just,
you never think about it. That's got to be real. I mean, number one, it's just sad because Marcus is such a great guy, and it sucks. But it's like you never think about like your throwing partner is kind of a big deal. That's like usually that's like your guy, that's your routine. And so when that all of a sudden is shifted up, and so did you have to like convince somebody else to be your throwing partner? Or did you like steal from somebody else, or what did you? How did that? Who's your new throwing partner? How did you work that out?
Well, it's been interesting because I threw with Darren all winter, and then Darren ended up starting. So then I started throwing with Marcus, and then Marcus went out early, and then now I've been throwing with Runyon a lot, and then if it really depends on the day now. Like I threw with Lamford some last week because our throwing aligned. It's just kind of like I threw with Chuck today. It's just kind of
You're just playing you're just a young guy playing the field. You'll throw with anybody. I got it. Okay. All right, you're not gonna get stuck with one throwing partner. I see how it is. Okay. That makes sense. Let's keep your options open. All right. I hear you.
That's got to be weird with you and Cole throwing, because that's like no ball is above the head. It feels like it's all out here.
Oh yeah, it's a fun catch play.
Yeah.
So you're from Chattanooga, Tennessee, right? Is that correct?
I am.
Yeah. Okay. Did you ever get to play at the Lookouts field?
Oh, we did. I'm excited for the new one. The new field.
Oh, nice. They're making a new one. Good. That's cool.
They did. It was about time.
Okay.
I mean, that field.
Yeah, because I was thinking I went there, and it was like Brian McCann and Jeff Francoeur and Charlie Morton were in like AA at the time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're talking like over 20 years ago. That's a long time.
I remember like Yasiel Puig,
Yeah.
Byron Buxton. I know Kershaw because they bounced around. They were the Reds.
Yeah.
They were the Twins. They were the Dodgers.
Mhm.
So I remember Kershaw came in for like a rehab assignment, and that's awesome. That stadium was packed, but they moved it, and it was about time. But it was always fun playing. Like we'd play a few high school games there every now and then against Macaulay, who was our rival.
Mhm.
So that was always fun.
Now, were you a hitter too in high school?
Yeah, but I was terrible.
You could tell bro. No one was gonna look it up. You could just tell the story.
No, I tell them that's what I tell the hitters all the time. Like, I was like, I'm just gonna stay out of y'all's business. I can't hit.
That's funny.
like I was a lefty bunt. I had to hit it the other way, and then I'd play outfield. I was decent at outfield, but I could not hit to save my life.
So did you hit and play anyway? Like, even though you were bad at it, or you just like get?
I did. I mean, our lineup was kind of stacked in high school, so we every now and then I'd go in and defensive replacement and
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think he's just sandbagging. That's what it is.
He's
going to get
his
bat in his hand.
How great they were. Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get the 1AB and just like crank one into the gap and be like, hey, just kidding, guys. That was awesome.
My last ever game, I went 4 for 4. I think if you've lined them all up, they might make it to the fence, but I went 4 for 4.
That's
all. Line drives in the box score, right? That's what I always say.
Exactly. All of them are singles.
I say, when you were at Tennessee Tech, you didn't happen to run into Bobby Wilder, the football coach, did you?
He would be around every now and then because the training room was our training room was connected to the football field, so I'd see him around every now and then.
All right.
Yeah, that's another ODU legendary football coach. Phenomenal guy. I used to work at a golf ball shop, and he came in one time like nobody else was there, and he sat and hung out, talked to him for like 45 minutes after he stopped coaching for us.
Oh.
But yeah, just a great guy. So I'm glad he's having success out there.
Yeah, ODU everywhere, I guess. I just keep running.
Yeah, we do it, man. You never know.
It's weird where you start seeing the logos and all over the place. You had ODU fans everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, Patrick. Well, I know you've got a big week ahead, and you got 2 midweeks, and then you're heading down to Mobile. It's probably like the closest travel schedule we've had to last year. You got 4 road games this week. So we'll let you go, let you rest up, all that fun stuff. Unless CB, you got anything else?
No, man, we appreciate you. I hopefully you get that medical red shirt, and we can have you back here next year, man. That'd be a nice surprise.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, Patrick, thanks so much for hopping on here and chatting with us. It was a good time, and we will see you at some point this week. Not sure which game, but we'll see you at some point.
Yes, sir. Hopefully the radar's lying and it warms up a little bit for tomorrow. But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No more 40-degree games, man. That's ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, it's 80 degrees and then all of a sudden it's 20 and then it's going to snow the next day and then it's going to be 80.
No.
So I've been sick for a month. I was talking before we started about sick. I've been coughing for a month. It's because of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Patrick. Good luck this week, and we'll be cheering you on.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good talking to y'all.
All right. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it, man.
All righty,
Kid,
CB.
man. I'll be honest. I have not talked to Patrick a lot. He's a really great kid. That was awesome.
Yeah, he had me cracking up there. That was
Yeah.
really fun. I still think he's sandbagging.
I think he's lying. It's like, bro, our lineup was stacked, but they let you play. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. 4 for 4 in the last game. That was an anomaly.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, Finney sounds like he's open to getting Jackson Okonkwo and AB if he can hit. I mean,
John could hit. Yeah, he was hitting like cleanup third for Guerrero Christian, who's no joke. I mean, they won the state championship as his junior year. He was DHing for him or playing third or first base. I mean, yeah, Jackson can hit.
I mean, it's hard to tell heights from the outfield seats, but I can tell you, having stood next to him, he's a big boy. He's a big, strong boy. Like, if he got a hold of a baseball, it's going to go a long damn way.
He hits some line drives, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what you need. Maybe that's how you kind of break this funk on the pitching staff. Is you let one of those guys go in and get an AB, get the bullpen, get the dugout all jacked up, and then you see, like, sometimes little funky things like that can get you going.
You never know. Yeah.
All right. Well, CB, we got players of the week. If you got your stats on hand, if not, I'll just share. I'm going to share this picture first because I thought it was good.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, after Zadalis almost killed Aaron Zielinski and I in the stands, this is the way he celebrated.
Yeah. No, the fire hat is great. I was telling you, I don't know why the fire hat ends up being so clear in the pictures, and then sometimes the rest of the picture doesn't seem as clear, and it doesn't make sense because, like, my camera is probably pointed right on, if not Tyler's face, his chin, his like chest, but then the helmet is like crisp and the rest of the bridge. So but anyway, that's my nerdy photography stuff. It's a fun picture. It's great to see these guys having a good time.
It was a great shot. And by the way, like, most of the time I tag CB in the photos I put out on social media. Occasionally I'm an idiot and I forget, but basically, if you look on our social media accounts and the picture looks good, it's CB's. If it looks like some jackass zoomed in with an iPhone, that's me. So in case there was any doubt, there you go.
It's fair.
All right. Well, we got players of the week.
Players of the week. Speaking of players of the week, we were just talking to one of them, Patrick Johnson. And Patrick's been doing great. I think you said these stats: 3 1/3, 1 run, no earned runs, 4 hits, no walks, which is huge, right? We've been talking about not walking guys, and 2 strikeouts. He's not a huge strikeout guy, but he's just been putting the ball in the right spots. And he had a few where, like when he first came in, you talk about having struggles, but he had a few where he gave up a ground ball. I think his very first batter, he gave up a ground ball and it just didn't get fielded. And then a couple of inherited runs scored. Sulpizio, I think we both agreed, if it wasn't on a Wednesday against Norfolk State, he'd have been pitcher of the week. 4 scoreless innings, no runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Looked phenomenal. I missed the first half of the inning just because I was a little late trying to get there. When they moved up to 2 instead of 3. But he looked as good as I've ever seen him. It was great. Jace Park, another good week, another good outing, 3 innings. Did give up a run, 2 hits, few terminal walks, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And JJ Gaddy, he 4 innings, gave up 2 earned runs in the first inning he pitched, but then after that, nothing. So then 4 hits, no walks again. Huge having no walks and 3 strikeouts. Again, not a huge list of pitchers or hitters that were like really, really phenomenal. We just have a fair amount of guys who were solid. Zach Late, another hitter of the week. I think this is 3 of the 6 weeks. He was, I think, week 1, 3, and 6 now, and probably could have won those other weeks. It's just somebody else happened to have a little bit better. So he was 7 for 15, had a double, 8 RBIs on the week. He's actually got, I think he's got 36 RBIs for the season, which is more than he had last season when he led the team. So he's already got more than anybody had last year, which is crazy. And only 22 games. And
he was a foot from having a home run instead of a double on Sunday. I mean, he hit the top quarter panel of the outfield wall. I mean, that ball was a missile. He
hits the ball so hard. Like, even, they're shifting on him, and he still hit a ball up the middle that goes right past the guys because he hits it just so hard on the ground. But he also had 2 walks, 2 sacrifice flies. Grayson Spar had a nice week. He was 5 for 15, had a double, 5 RBIs, 3 runs. He's really settling into playing right field and playing a really good defense too, which I think is fun. And then Will Johnson, the Johnson boys, both on here. Will was 6 for 16, had a double, 2 RBIs, 7 runs scored, which is huge at the top of the lineup. Had a walk, a hit by pitch, and a steal, and played some really good defense this week too. So again, maybe not as I think some of our guys didn't necessarily light it up and hit like 500 this week. A lot of the other guys just they only hit like 300 for the week. So
yeah,
still pretty good.
We had quite a few guys come in and get some pinch hit opportunities on Saturday. Yeah. I would say Efren Morales is one. It was good to see him get back in there. But I mean, first at bat, stings a double. Next at bat, gets a single. I think he was on the wrong end of a couple of those strike calls on Sunday. That did not help him. Like F knows the strike zone. Zach Late knows the strike zone. And if they're both shaking their heads going back to the dugout, something's a little funky there. But Friday, got to give the bullpen a lot of credit to go and win that game on Friday. Ben, I think he's freshman, going to make mistakes, but I think he's going to be okay in the long run. But Patrick Johnson coming in and giving you 3 1/3 of good pitching. Jace Park coming in behind that, only allowing 1 run. Then of course Bailey Matella just blowing everyone's doors off there to close it out. I mean, that's a pretty good punch from the bullpen if you want to look for any kind of bright spot in the pitching performance over the weekend.
Yeah, and that's been the problem is though the bullpen having to come in and throw like 8 innings in a game.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was Kellen's longest outing of his career when he went 4.
I have to believe it. He threw 70 pitches, 4 innings. And he was throwing. I mean, it was 4+ innings too. So it was, he threw 4 innings over the course of 5 innings.
Yeah, 70
actually, over the course of 6 innings, wasn't he? I mean, whatever it ended up being.
Yeah,
he threw a lot.
Yeah, he did. I almost got to the point where I was like, are they stretching him out to potentially start? And I was like, I don't know, but hey, why not? I mean, he's going to give you 110% every time he touches that mound. That dude he's special.
At this point, maybe you need to just like pick whoever you think is not really going to be effective, let him face the first batter of the game, and then bring somebody in from the bullpen. Because right now the starters aren't doing it, but the bullpen's doing it. So just have your designated one out batter. Just if it's a lefty leadoff hitter, bring a lefty in. I don't know. I don't know what you got to do.
I don't know. I know that they're trying everything. I mean, we saw a whole different mix this weekend. They're trying to get guys. I thought they did a good job of giving Gaddy a chance to come in the game and work. Like, hey, just go in and get outs. And that's the best he's looked really all season. And I'm excited for like Sulpizio to be looking good because he has great stuff. He's a great team guy. Gaddy's the loudest guy in the dugout, no matter what. I mean, he will go.
I was telling him yesterday, I was like, you can do PA without even raising your voice.
Yeah, you can hear him in the outfield stands. But his demeanor from a team perspective doesn't change. He goes out and gets shelled. He's in the dugout. He's cheering on the guy that just came in to replace him. So like, I want to see these guys that we know have talent. We know are team guys just start pulling in the same direction for one of these weekend series. Because when it comes together, we know it can be good. They got to get there and kind of got to do it here in the next couple of weeks or it could get early soon. Yeah.
Like I said, we got 8 weekends left, 24 games. You did that math for me. Thank you. I had to remember it again. But it's a lot of games, but it's also becomes not a lot if you don't start making moves and start making it happen. And it's tough to go out and win on the road. But you really need to, you need to, frankly, you need to be nice to sweep on the road, which is incredibly hard. But it's just the path's not going to get easier. You really want to make sure you are set up to do well in the tournament. And frankly, you want to start pitching well because it's super hard to win a tournament when you don't have any kind of pitching length. I think there is depth on this staff. There's a lot of guys, but then can these guys, any of them go 3, 4, 5, 6 innings? It's hard to get through playing 4 or 5 games in 4 or 5 days when every guy is only throwing like an inning, 2 innings. I mean, we've seen that several years. We've seen that where what happens is you just run out of gas. And even if you get that one game where it's like, oh, we win this game, we'll make it to the final. Well, hard to win that last game that when you're playing that second game of the day, throwing fumes.
Yeah, it takes some wear and tear. And you're right. Like, I think we have a lot of guys that can go get you an inning, maybe 2. But we need a couple guys that can give us 5, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe with this shakeup that occurred this weekend, those guys are locked back in and we get 5 from Kuski, 5 from Gaddy, and then we just kind of see what happens there on Sunday with Sulpizio. I mean, he has the ability to put up some innings for you and get a bunch of outs. But, if 500 is your baseline, right, you lost a home series, now you've got to go win an away series.
Right.
If you think of like 15-15 as the bar of like, yes, we're in the tournament. If we get to 17 wins, we're definitely a top 6 seed. But I'll tell you right now, like ULM is in third place. They're 4-2. Who would have called that? Who would have called Marshall at 5-1 in second one day behind Coastal?
And maybe that's just they have the right matchup and the right weekend, and by the end of the year they'll be at the bottom. You don't know.
Yeah, and
that might be 5 of their 10 wins all season in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, if we flip the script here and start beating teams, I guarantee that Troy and App State are going to be really happy that they caught us early, and maybe we catch a team that tails off later in the year.
Yeah.
At some point the injuries got to catch up to Coastal, but I don't know, man. I mean, 6-0, they're 16-7 overall, and they're down their top 3 arms. I can't figure that one out.
Super fun, cool folks too. They're just really nice to be around.
Yeah, I will not be making that road trip. I am excited that the next home series is Southern Miss because I do like Southern Miss fans. They're probably my favorite fan base in the Sun Belt. I mean, diehard baseball. Like it's rare they don't sell games out. I'm pretty sure
their staff was so nice too. The fans were, but like also just the staff was just wonderful people, and the coaches I talked to a little bit, they're on the workout day, and I'm with you. Southern Miss is cool. Now I want them to come and take 3 straight losses.
Yes,
but I do want to meet. I do want to see their nice folks. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I want to sweep them, but I would love to just grab some beers with their fan base throughout that weekend. Because they're a good group. They are smart baseball people too.
Yeah, good folks.
All right, well, we got William and Mary Tuesday. We got at Richmond Wednesday. We need one of those manufactured rainouts. I feel like one of the Bull Durham, flood the field, something. I guess I don't know. This is a rough week of 5 games.
I go both ways on that because sometimes I think you've said that and I agree with you. But then the other part of me is like, well, yeah, but aren't these opportunities to go out and like prove yourself and do the thing you want to do? Like I think some of our guys really need the opportunity to get on the mound. I don't think you don't get better. I think at pitching by not pitching. That's one thing that's why I always like guys throwing a summer ball, even if you only go out and throw 15 innings. It's like you get better by pitching.
We're gonna need the bats though. I think Richmond's probably in a similar boat with us on Wednesday in terms of their midweek pitching. William and Mary, they beat the brakes off of us last year, and it was a very similar situation. We were a little shaky on pitching, and we rolled into Williamsburg, and they wrecked us. That was probably my least favorite game of all last season for a number of reasons, but that was one of them. Well, hopefully we get some wins in the books this week. I'd love to go down to South Alabama and take 2 out of 3. I think we'd all feel a lot better, and we'd look a lot better in the standings, but we got to go and do it. They got to go put it together, and all the pieces are there. They just got to connect the dots.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. They got the talent. They just got to believe. They got to, like Finny made a great point. You got to visualize it. You got to see yourself winning.
Yeah, we're either going to get even or get even worse. So we'll figure out how it goes.
Oh, dude. No.
All right. Well, that will do it for us today. We appreciate you all tuning in, following us along on social media. That should all be back to normal next week. So we will see how that goes. But thank you all for tuning in. Go Monarchs.
Go Monarchs.